What's up, beautiful creators, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So we are literally almost at the end of the first quarter, already into the new year, and we're all gearing up, or we've already started our projects, our productions, our films. And so in today's video, I wanted to share with you all 5 apps that I love to use for pre-production to continue to help the production day go smoother. So let's get into it. So the first app that I want to get into is Canva. And the reason why I like this app is because this is the app that I use to create my lookbook or my treatment. Now, you can also use Google Slides, which a lot of people do, but I just like to use Canva. And what a lookbook is a bunch of different images or movie stills that are compiled together to create this overall treatment to give a visual reference of the filmmaker's idea or vision for a particular film or project or whatever it may be. And so for me, I like to use Canva. I like to go into presentation and really just start off first with the camera that I want to use, what the settings are, and then really just give a visual reference. I might add a little words and explanation of how the look and feel is going to be based on what the director wants or what the director has already told me about the project, and maybe they want warmth or anything like that. And so for me, I would add, different text of the lenses that I like to use because of the characteristics that come from those lenses and how to keep that warm, but also just giving a visual guide and reference using images to show what I envision, whether that's tonality, whether that's contrast, lighting, composition, to kind of help aid in the director's vision, but also showing them what I have from the DP standpoint. So that's really why I like to use Canva. I just think it's more user-friendly and I think it's easier. I have Canva on my phone, my computer, and on my iPad. The minute I change something, it changes for every device. But not only that, you can also just download it directly to your phone and send it off if you need to. So you can be anywhere. Even if you don't do it all the time, definitely start learning it, because I guarantee you're probably going to be asked at least once to create a lookbook or a treatment for a client. The second app that I like to use pretty much actually coincides with Canva, and that is ShotDeck. And the reason why I say that is because the same images and movie stills that you're going to use on your presentation, you're going to get them from ShotDeck. So ShotDeck is pretty much an online catalog that gives you images and movie stills from some of your favorite movies, honestly, and it's probably one of the biggest catalogs out there. And I really love this website. It is not an app, but it is a website, and I love it because, again, you can go in there and look at Insecure, you can go in there and you look at Moonlight, you can pretty much search a lot of movies to kind of give you inspiration, references of, to help you get your vision across. And so you go in there and they give you a lot of metadata, a lot of information about these movies. And so let's say you go and you want to search for Moonlight. They're going to show you what camera was used, the lenses that was used, whether they shot that particular shot in the day or the night, whether they use harsh lighting or soft lighting, whether they use mixed lighting, what the tone of that shot was. That you get so much information, which then kind of helps you feel like, well, if this is the look that I'm going for my project, I want to download these stills to kind of put onto my lookbook to show the client or the director, like, this is what we're aiming for. And so those images that you're going to use for your lookbook, you're going to get those from ShotDeck. And you want to make sure it looks professional. You want to make sure it looks cinematic for the client. The better it looks, the more they're going to be enticed to be like, I want to hire this person. They did a really good job visually portraying their vision, and I'm all for their vision. It looks great. So you definitely want to use great images to get your vision across. And not even just that, not even from a DP standpoint or creating a lookbook, whether you're a filmmaker and you might have lost your creativity and you're like, you know what, I just want to go out and shoot. You can go on ShotDeck and just find an image from your favorite film that you like and say, I just want to recreate this. I want to see how they did it, and I want to just recreate it. And maybe I just want to find stills to recreate, and that's your thing. Like, actually, I've been wanting to do that myself. Just go on there and just look through and save beautiful images and recreate them with the equipment that I have, and that grows you as a filmmaker and as a creative. So ShotDeck is great for inspiration, it's great for lookbooks, it's great for all of that. So I love ShotDeck, definitely. It is $100, so it does cost, but it is worth it. by far. And the thing about this is that all of these are great for pre-production. So you want to make sure that your pre-production is 100%, because that in turn helps your production be 100%. You never want to go on production day feeling like you don't know what to do, or there's so many things that was not figured out ahead of time. So these apps really are just aiding in making sure that production day runs as smooth as possible. The third app to that I would like to use when it comes to pre-production would be the Artemis or Rage app. Now, I know you guys have heard about these apps before. They really are one-in-one, like they pretty much do the same thing, so you pick which one you like. I do believe that they cost, and they are apps that you can download onto your phone, so you usually want to take these out when you go and location scout. And the whole point of these apps is for you to craft your framing and your composition on location scouting, so that you know when you go in pre-production and you figure out what equipment is needed, you pretty much have a good idea of how you're going to frame that shot during production. The reason why I like it is because it gives you precise framing. So you can go in there, you add your camera, you add the lens that you're going to use, you get as detailed as possible, and it pretty much turns your iPhone into your camera, so you can at least take images on location of what you see this particular frame being. It also kind of helps you create a shot list, because you're taking all of these photos in the various locations based on the scenes for whatever project or film that you're doing, and you're essentially creating a shot list of how you want it all to look. So that's also giving a visual reference, right? So like if I go and I take a picture of a talent in the frame, then I know like, okay, this is how she's going to be. So working around this, how can we create the tone and the mood with lighting and the gear that we're going to need for this particular frame? So in pre-production, it gives you that reference when you're trying to figure out all of these things. You can go back to that reference that you took on location. So it's really great to have. You can record video, you can take images, and it downloads it directly to your phone with the settings. So like depending on which lens that you choose, at the bottom it has that actual focal length on there, and so you know these are the lenses that I might need to rent out because I actually shot like this focal length for this particular frame. So it gets really detailed, and it really helps you in pre-production to know what equipment that you need to get your frame looking the best that it can be based on the location scouting that you did during pre-production. The fourth app that I like to use, of course, correlates also with Rage and Artemis, and that's the Sunseeker app. Again, I know that this is an app that you've all heard before, and I've talked about this before as well when it comes to location scouting. And I love this app because we all know the sun can sometimes be a pain in our butt if we're not using it, you know, if we don't need it. And so sometimes the sun is at a place that it does not need to be when we're shooting, and we need to know that before production day. We need to know if we need negative field before production day, or if we need diffusion just to diffuse the sun. Are we going to work with the sun, or are we going to work against the sun? Is the sun going to help us for this particular scene, or is it not? And if it's not, what can we do to account for that? So knowing where the sun is going to be at that particular time that you're shooting and the day that you're shooting is very essential in crafting the shot that you want, especially when it comes to lighting. So from 3 to 6, if it's going to be moving east, you might want to know that, because if you are using the sun as key or whatever it may be, if it moves, you have to make sure you have enough light to continue on to make sure that that scene stays the way that you envisioned it. So always having a Sunseeker app and using it on location to just see, you know, as the sun shifts, how can we account for this with G&E and with lighting? That is crucial. So knowing that ahead of time is going to help the day of production, so you're not surprised as the sun moves or where the sun is going to be, and if that's going to hinder or help, you know, the production in your shots. So definitely downloading the Sunseeker app is crucial, and it's very important. Again, all these apps should be on every device that you use, that you take with you, whether it's early on in pre-production or location scouting. These apps are a necessity. The last app that I want to talk about is going to be the Notes app. And the reason why I like the Notes app is really just to draw diagrams. So for me, after I get all this information, after I location scout, I go back home and I draw a diagram myself of what I envision a particular project is. So for instance, if I'm shooting a round table, I might draw out the table where the talent's going to sit and where I see the cameras being. That way I can know, is this camera going to run into this camera the day of production? How can I, you know, visually get what I need, and just looking at a diagram kind of helps that, and knowing ahead of time how things are going to look. But also the app that I like to use with notes is Link. So the reason why I like to use this app is because it's more professional diagrams if you use. I'm not going to create the diagram that I'm creating for myself in the Notes app and send it off. I might, but Links has a more professional looking diagram that you can use to not only send to your crew, but to the director to know this is how we're going to set this up. This is how the light is going to be. This is where the cameras are going to be, so everyone knows where they need to be. The gaffer's not asking me the day of, where are we putting the lighting? The cam ops aren't asking me the day of, where are we putting the cameras? Everyone knows because they had a diagram of how we're setting this particular scene or this particular shot. And so the day of production, everything is running smoothly. And that is the goal. I think these apps just continue to help you learn how to create a better workflow and process as a filmmaker and as a DP. Even if you don't want to be a DP and you're just a filmmaker, I feel like learning this process, as you grow in your craft, like you kind of have to develop a process that's just going to help you and expand your creativity. And so I think these apps really help with that. They've helped me out a lot. Let me know down below in the comments if you have these apps or if you have alternatives to these apps. I would like to know because I'm always down to learn a little bit more. And as others, as they watch this video who may not know, definitely let us all know. Like this video if you liked it. Hopefully it helped. I know it's short and sweet, but make sure you are subscribed to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.